Welcome back to the Healing Stylist, the podcast where we explore the heart, mind, and hustle of beauty professionals. I'm your host, Corinne Weekly, and today's episode is going to be so inspiring. If you're ever wondered about the art of making wigs, the struggle of running a hair business, and how to maintain your mental health through it all, this conversation is totally for you. I'm thrilled to welcome today's guest, Ms. Jenny Lowe, a talented hairstylist, a wig creator who is changing lives through her craft, from helping individuals experiencing hair loss to creating show-stopping pieces. She makes waves while navigating the highs and lows of being an entrepreneur. Let's dive in and hear her story. So, I just want to thank you so much today, Miss Jenny. I'm so excited for you to share your story and welcome to the Healing Stylist. And let's let our listeners hear what you have to say. So, can you tell us a little bit about your journey, how you got started, and what drew your focus to wigs?
I was like, I got kind of started later on in life. I started beauty school when I was 30. Um, and I had always thought about it, but I thought it was kind of just something that like you were good at or you weren't. And so I was nervous that I wasn't. But that's not the case. You can learn. And then I started working with wigs during quarantine. I was watching a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race and I started playing around with like synthetic wigs. And when I started making them, they were mostly for drag queens and like cosplayers. But it has progressed over the years to now it's mostly women who deal with hair loss and human hair wigs.
Oh, that sounds incredible. So you said you started when you were 30?
Yeah.
I started in high school, so I graduated with my license, and usually I meet people who started when they were 18. So like it's never too late. This industry is for everyone. Anybody at any age. It's so like so rewarding for anybody.
Yeah.
So that's really incredible to hear how personal and professional and your passion come together. Was there a moment of experience in your life that made you realize wigs were more than just a craft, that they could change someone's life?
Oh yeah, definitely. I was like, for the longest time I was doing wigs and stuff like online. So I would get like nice messages and stuff, but when I was in the salon and people with wigs started coming to see me, even if it's just to like customize them or thin them out a little bit, like it just makes them feel like so much more like themselves. It's very satisfying, I will say.
Okay, okay. Um, that sounds like an art for itself. Now, being a business owner, it isn't always glamorous. So, what are some challenges you faced during the time of owning your wig business, and how have you overcome them?
Um, I was like, I mean, I feel like some of the biggest challenges are when people aren't necessarily like they didn't get exactly what they wanted or they aren't necessarily happy with that. I'm always happy to make adjustments and make corrections, but it is always like a shot to the gut. Like
Oh, oh,
you're just like, oh my God, like they're not happy with me. I feel so awful.
but but that's kind of like just someone being in your chair, though, like you can't win them all.
I know. I was like, that was a hard lesson to learn.
Yeah. Especially because it's a piece of like material versus someone's head. It's like kind of different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like they people that buy wigs, they spend a lot of money on these wigs. Like
Yeah.
they're not cheap.
Yeah. So speaking of challenges, there's also a lot of pressure in the beauty industry. How do you manage client expectations and balance the business side with the creative side?
Oh, I was like, that one is balancing the creative and the business. That one's a little hard.
Mhm.
Because I actually don't like love trying to be a person on social media.
Uh,
But it's one of the things you have to do for people to see you and notice you, and people expect to see your portfolio.
yeah.
Um, I'm sorry, what was the first part of the question?
The first part of the question was, how do you manage the client expectations and the balance the business side of the creative side?
Managing client expectations. I was like, I have like a whole little form now that I send to my wig clients, being like,
Oh, smart.
yes, like inspiration photos are really like just for inspiration. I am not like replicating someone else's like art. I was like, and I like to make sure to let people know that this hair has already been like really chemically processed. So the the um the end results like can be a little bit more unpredictable.
Yeah, the color varies.
Yeah.
Very for sure. So, this podcast is all about healing, and I know that maintaining your mental health as a hairstylist, because we be stressed, and a
Mhm.
business owner can be tough. So, how do you prioritize your mental health, especially on those overwhelming days?
I have been really big into meditation lately.
I love.
Yes, I was like, I think once you get over the feeling of like feeling silly or judging yourself for it a lot, it's really helpful and really get your mind to settle down,
Uh-huh.
your body relaxes. Like that has been a big one for me.
Yeah, so like bringing the energy down and keeping like all your chakras leveled so the head isn't so chaotic, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I just got a little bit more into that lately, and it's crazy how you can just release negative energy and just feel so much more grounded.
Yeah. Or
Because
actually just like telling your brain like relax these muscles and they will relax. Like who
literally,
would have thought?
yeah, who would have thought? Like, oh, I can actually talk to my body?
Yeah.
Like that's crazy, right?
And it'll
Like when I
listen.
see people like, oh yeah, I do this and I ground myself and I'm thinking like, what does that mean? And then now that I'm experiencing it and I mean, oh, like ground your energy, you're more centered. So that makes like so much sense now. And that's probably one of my favorite things to do now is meditate. So have you ever experienced a burnout in your career? And if so, what steps did you take to recover and reset?
I'm only in the salon 3 days a week and then I work on wigs from home. So I haven't really experienced a lot of burnout because I feel like I give myself a lot of space, which is nice and a blessing. But I have had a few like awful clients
Oh, I think we've all had
that
those.
that made me feel like burnt out after our appointment. And honestly, I feel like the next day I just had to lay in bed. Like,
Right? Like, you know what? Forget this.
yeah, I need a day to recuperate. Okay.
So, you also said you started doing hair a little later in life. Do you feel like you have an advantage or a disadvantage to coming into the industry a little later?
um, I was like, I feel like both, you know. The advantage would be that like I'm still bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and excited and like love what I'm doing all the time. The disadvantage is that I don't have as much experience as everyone else, you know, like
Yeah.
luckily I'm in a salon with women who are always open to helping me. But yeah, there are definitely times where I'm still like, I don't feel like I know what I'm doing 100%.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean that's like learning a new skill and I'm still like, ooh, I have all this experience, but yeah, I'm sitting here like I'm faking it till I make it still. And I really like how you said you have an advantage to that because I've been doing hair since I was 18 and I have fallen out of love with the industry many, many, many times. But I've learned that it was my environment more so than the actual career itself. So, I'm so lucky you didn't get to experience, or I hope you won't experience so many burnouts. And you're also older, so you're more mindful of your own mental health at this age. Not that, in our 20s we're not, but we don't take it as seriously. So I love that for you. And fake it till you make it, girl. Like no one's gonna know. Like you're a professional.
I was like,
Um,
that is the trick.
yeah. So boundaries are a huge part of mental health, and I preach boundaries to my clients as well. But do you set any boundaries with your clients or your business to protect your time and energy?
Um, I was like, yes, definitely. I am still like a little guilty of breaking said boundaries, but I'm like, I'm not going to reply to clients after a certain time, right? Like other people get to stop working. We're clocking out right
Oh, that
now.
took me, oh man.
I'm still a little guilty of it. I'm like, let me just reply really quick.
Yeah. One time won't hurt.
Yeah. I was like, or um, I was like, with my wig clients, they will message me so much. Like, it's sometimes overwhelming how many messages they'll send me in a row and pictures and stuff. And then I just kind of set my phone down and take a breath. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, like, let's read this now.
Okay.
Um, I was like, with my clients at the salon, I don't know. It's like, how do I set boundaries with them?
Do you squeeze people in even when you can't? Do you stay late? I am off at 5. I'm not staying till 7.
I was like, no, I'll try to squeeze people in depending on what it
It's okay. We're all guilty of doing it, but
right?
like you know when you can't do it though.
Yes. I was like, there have been times where I'm like, no, absolutely not. Or, like if there's mornings I've woken up with like a migraine and I have to tell my clients, like, we have to reschedule because
Oh,
I
good.
can't push through this. Like,
Right. I'm not gonna take a pill and then suffer.
yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
And then your hair is not going to look good either. Okay. No one's going to be happy.
Listen, you're gonna get like this 2-minute massage instead of this nice 5 to 10 minutes that I normally do. So take your pick. So your work clearly impacts your clients in powerful ways. So can you share a story about a client whose life has or was changed through one of your wigs? Or even hair, even behind the chair?
um, I think that it is more impactful with the wigs. Don't get me wrong. The clients behind the chair, they still love it. They still feel good and it makes me feel good. But there is just something about someone who is experiencing hair loss and then they get a beautiful head of hair again. They feel more like themselves. I was like, let me think of a specific story. It's like, yeah, I had a woman come in and literally all I did was color her wig a little bit darker to match her hair. It was like a 5 and I made it like a 3. But like she was so grateful and she like started crying in the chair and she was like, "Oh my god, like it's me. I feel like myself again." And I
And it
was
was
like,
just so cute. You're like, girl, it's just dark. Like I literally did nothing. And then like and then
yeah.
like I would almost feel a little guilty, like, whoa.
I was like, I do because they think like I'm a magician and I'm like, this was really the easiest thing I could have done. Thank you.
Right. Like, girl, you could have got a color conditioner and did this yourself. Like, but thank you.
Don't tell them our secrets.
Right, right, right. Okay. We don't know what a color conditioner is. So that is so beautiful. And where do you see your business and the wig industry going in the next few years? Any exciting plans or goals you'd like to share?
I am able to accept insurance for medical wigs. So
Nice.
I'm hoping to maybe, well, I'm not hoping to maybe, I'm hoping to step into that a little bit more.
Oh, you will?
Yes, that's right. I also really want to take one of those non-surgical hair replacement classes.
Mm.
Have you seen those?
With the semi-permanent.
They like they like basically it's like a topper or like a
A
toupee,
toupee? Yeah,
and they
I know what
either
you're talking
glue
about.
it on or sew it in. But I was like, that one seems like it would be life changing for sure.
Oh yeah. I like watching those and they turn around and they're just like alligator tears.
Oh my
And then
God,
I'm
yes.
alligator tears because I'm just like, oh, you look so good, girl. Um, so we did have some hiccups in the beginning, and just in case, this podcast is accepting flaws in all, I would like you to reintroduce yourself because just in case, I think we did get cut, but I didn't get a chance to ask you to really tell us who you are and things that you want to share about yourself and your business.
Okay. I was like, well, my name is Jenny Lowe. You can find me on Instagram at Hello Jenny Lowe. Yeah, I'm a hairstylist, a wig creator, wig repairer, wig customizer. I love all things hair. I'm located in San Diego, so if any of you guys want to come see me.
And so the way I met Jenny is we were at Hero Retreat, hosted by Masters of Balayage and my girl Charity and I, being Charity, we were sitting there and I kind of was like, come back and I'm like, who'd you let sit in my chair? I was just so like, oh, you let someone sit here. Now they're in the middle of us, right? So I had to like, it's okay, it's fine. And so we started whispering back and forth, and you were just stuck in the middle of that. And I was like, girl, she's probably like, what the hell is going on?
I was like, no, I'm here for all the commentary, please.
And then I was like trying to turn it off. But then I was like, oh, you know what? If this girl don't like me, she'd get up and move. You shouldn't have sat in my seat anyways. Like,
Like, my bad. I
but
did not realize I stole your spot. I was just like, let me sneak into the back room.
yeah. And I looked at Charity. I was like, why'd you let her sit here? And she's looking at me like, I don't know. She just sat down. And I was like, girl, like, watch the stuff. Like, it was just a funny way to meet you. And I'm so glad that I got to meet you because you are so fun and you're just an amazing stylist. And now I have a new friend in San Diego.
That's
And
right, girl.
this has been such an inspiring and insightful conversation. And before you go, I would love for you to share one last piece of advice. What message would you give to another hairstylist, entrepreneur, or anyone struggling to manage with their mental health?
I was like, well, like I said, meditation for sure.
Hmm.
But also like, it's a roller coaster ride. Some days we love it, some days we hate it.
Uh-huh.
Some days we're on top of the world, some days we have to go lay in bed all day.
Yeah,
Like just stay on the roller coaster.
it's a nice ride. Not in the moment sometimes, but like when you look back, you're like, wow, this has been fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
you agree? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what are your socials? How can they find you? How can they find your wigs?
Well, my hair page is Hello Jenny Low, but the wig page is called Big Wig Bar.
How did you
Uh,
get that name?
my sister helped me come up with it.
Nice.
And it's because I was in the service industry forever and I was a bartender for a long time. And yeah, that's how we came up with that one.
Nice combining two industries into
Yeah,
one. Nice. I like that. That's nice.
thank you.
You're so welcome. So, I would like to thank you so much for sharing your story and wisdom with us today. For our listeners who want to connect with you, please reach out to my girl, Hello Jenny Lowe, on all socials, right?
Yep.
And Facebook, same.
Uh huh.
Okay, easy,
I
easy.
was like trying to keep the brand consistent, girl.
It's hard though. Like I was like, do I keep it with mine or make it its own? Like the Healing Stylist podcast, and it's another challenge and another struggle that we deal with like, do we separate our wig business from what we're doing?
Yep.
Do we keep it together? But it's like an put it under one big universe.
Yep.
Like if Marvel can do it, we can do it too, right? Like, come on. We're gonna jump dimensions. To everyone listening today, I hope today's episode inspired you to find balance, embrace creativity, and to remember to take care of yourself inside and out. And don't be squeezing people in all the time, Jenny.
I don't.
If,
I don't. I swear I don't.
if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to share and leave a review, like and follow and subscribe. Until next time on the Healing Stylist, take care. Bye.